Your business exists because you had the idea to start it. Everything begins in our minds. That's why your business results cannot outgrow your current level of thinking. Do you want to serve more clients, make more money, without working more or burning yourself out? Grow yourself first as a leader of your business, because that's who you are, a leader, even if you're the only person in your business right now. When you lead yourself first, the business results will always follow. My name is Maggie. I'm an international business and leadership coach, an expert in business mindset, strategy, and high performance. I created the Diamond Effect podcast to help you elevate your thinking, expand your perspective, and through it, grow your business without overwhelm. So let's get started. If you've been an entrepreneur for longer than 5 minutes, you know that entrepreneurship is a journey of growth. Growing your mindset as a business leader, CEO, and your beliefs of what's possible for you rather than what's not. Growing your emotional capacity and resilience to handle challenges, pressure, uncertainty that comes naturally with being an entrepreneur. And growing your skill sets, your business skill sets, your skill set as a service provider. There is a lot of growth, and it has to happen fast if you want your business to grow. And what that means for many entrepreneurs, myself included, and the clients that I coach, is that you have to put yourself out there, not only in marketing and sales, but overall as an entrepreneur. And that has to happen regardless whether you're shy or introverted or you don't have certain skill set, you just need to develop them. So today I want to talk about it, how to do it, especially when you're introverted and shy, because that's what I happen to be and many of my clients. And I want to share their stories and give you a certain perspective on mindset and certain coaching to help you to be able to put yourself out there and overcome maybe challenges that you feel you're having now. And so because of them, you're not making your business as visible as you should. You're not taking the risk and chances that you need to take to grow and succeed. So I'm a person who loves to learn and grow. Learning is one of my strengths. I thrive in growth. And I remember when I was in corporate environment and a corporate career, I've never stayed longer than about 3 years in a role, because by then I knew so much of it that it became boring and I needed to learn something new. I needed something more challenging in order to feel motivated and really in order to be motivated and invested in what I was doing and not become complacent. And yet, when I became an entrepreneur, I can't still believe how much more you have to grow, how much faster you have to grow, and how much more you need to change, which sometimes can be tiring, even if you love it. And especially now in today's day and age, with AI and technology changing so fast, with our markets and the consumer behavior changing because of the economy and things that are happening in the world. So as entrepreneurs, we need to have our thumb on a pulse and understand what's going on and learn new skills that maybe we didn't think we would have to learn. And very often those skills are a gateway to our survival, right? Our job is not guaranteed. If we don't learn, our businesses don't grow. If they don't grow, we don't have clients, we don't make income. We can't make an impact we want to make, but also we can't support ourselves, our families, and so on. So learning, putting yourself out there and stretching your capability and capacity of doing new things is not optional. It's a must. The silver lining of that is outside of business growth and growth of income is that Whenever you look back and how far you've come and things that we've done and learned, you can be so proud of yourself. You can look, wow, I've pushed myself and I've done things that I didn't think I could do, that didn't think were possible for me. And yet I proved to myself that I can do impossible things. Because I really believe that impossible, it's just a state of our mind, and we are capable of learning anything or doing anything we want if we only try. So let me share some stories with you, because everything starts with a mindset. How you think about this challenge, this mountain in front of you matters. It can be because how we think influences or drives how we feel about what we're facing and what we do about it. If our thoughts don't serve us, we will feel negative feelings towards, let's say, doing video, going lives, doing public speaking, or whatever it is, and we won't do it or we will procrastinate. But if we intentionally shift that perspective to thoughts that are serving us, that are more positive, and a perspective that is more conducive to us doing it, we'll feel better about public speaking, going live, going video, or whatever that is, and therefore take more effective action towards learning the skill set, putting yourself out there, and giving your business a chance to thrive. So let me share a few stories from my own experience and my clients. When I started my business, I realized I had to build a network, that I did not have a network that could potentially help me get connected with other people and grow my business. And as they say, your network is your net worth. And why didn't I have a network? Because when I came to Canada as an immigrant with my first partner, we built our social network around his family and their friends. And then when we divorced and separated, I lost that network. And then as I was growing my corporate career, I had a network within the companies that I worked with, and I knew a lot of people there. But first of all, they were corporate people, not entrepreneurs. And also, when I started business, I did not want them to know. I was too scared to share the fact that I had this business on the side. I also didn't network much outside of the corporate world. I definitely had thoughts that did not serve me about networking, but I also was starting a new family with my current husband. We had little kids. So the last thing I wanted is be outside of the house in the evenings after coming back after a long day of work in the office. Very quickly into my business, I realized, oh, I don't know too many people. I need to build my network. And at that time, I didn't know even how to network. I was very self-conscious about that. As I said, I am rather introverted and shy, and I don't like small talk. So like the prospect of me going out there and talking to strangers and starting with small talk was very draining. But because my business and the goal of growing it was much stronger than the fear of putting myself out there and starting to go, I started going to networking. And very quickly, I realized there were two types of networking groups, and I found myself gravitating towards one of them first, just because it aligned more with who I am and my strengths. And then as I kept putting myself out there networking, I developed skill set of connecting with people over, let's say, small talk, or I've noticed the benefit of an initial small talk to then get to a deeper conversation. So one type of group is more business driven, is more structured, where the members of those networking groups or participants are focused on referrals, they talk business, and as they are consistent showing up in their groups, the relationships of friendship and something more of that more deeper relationship of friendships develop. And then there are groups that are more social. And first, it's all about building friendships, and then through that, referrals happen. And that was harder for me to do as an introvert. But because I kept going, I kept challenging myself, and I kept figuring out how to manage networking while also needing certain time to recharge myself as an introvert, I figured out a balanced approach. And now I network in both type of groups. So groups that are very business results driven and groups that are more social at first. And I get good results. But it because my thinking about it helped me be successful, right? The way I thought about it is this is what my business needs. This is what I need to do if I want my business to succeed. And I'm willing to feel uncomfortable. I'm willing not to be great at it and very awkward in the beginning and maybe not be successful for a certain amount of time until I figure it out. And let me know. And I take the same approach when I coach my clients on whether it's marketing activities or sales activities that they're resisting and they try to refrain from doing because they feel uncomfortable or they don't have skill sets or they have some fear about it. So, for example, very common in business owners is video marketing, right? If you are about by age, camera is not something that we were born with, that we're used to, and so on. My kids, it's a whole different story. But if you're in your midlife, probably not. However, video in today's day and age in marketing and sales is really non-negotiable. And I've read this marketing LinkedIn study not that long ago that shows that sound, movement, and visual cues trigger far stronger memory formation than like static content will ever do. And in the today's day and age of this sea of content where our ideal clients, whether they're individuals, whether they're business people making decisions in their business, we're being bombarded by a ton of content every day. If we as business owners are not memorable, our potential clients will pass through that. Their brain won't even register that we popped up in their feed or that we send them a message or we send them an email or whatever that is, right? So through video, you can be more memorable just because that particular format appeals more to us as human beings, right? We're seeing body language, we're seeing other humans that we connect with and not some static graphics, right? There is sound, there is movement, there's all those things where it's a multi-sensory experience to the viewer. So video generates actually almost 1.5 times more engagement where people stop, watch, and interact rather than scroll through. Most importantly, the viewers of the video can retain 95% of the message that it's delivered via video, whereas static content could be maybe 50% and for 48 hours, not longer. So as a business owner, you have way more chances to be remembered, to be engaging, and also really reach your target audience through video. Not to mention that the chance of being acted on, right? So if your video has call to action, the chance of being acted on is much higher because attention is scarce, and then remembering what we've seen is even harder for people to do. So I always encourage my clients to do video in their marketing and even in their sales. So I was coaching one of my current clients that is a bit shy and resisting and offering them that data, that information, and saying that, and also perspective is, okay, would you rather avoid the discomfort that is coming with you learning how to talk to camera or preparing for it or being a bit fearful in the beginning? So would you rather just sit in the fear and be uncomfortable and stay there and then not have the sales and results in your business? Or would you prefer to have the business grow, to have more sales, and just for a beginning, for a short period of time, feel uncomfortable, not be good at something, and keep trying until you get a skill that allows you to be pretty good at video and also not feel the fear that you're feeling in the beginning. I can tell you that when you lean into the fear and you start taking small but consistent steps towards doing the thing you're scared of that will help your business, that will allow you to put yourself out there in a bigger and bolder way, not only you'll get a better result, but you'll be so proud of yourself. So I had another client who did not like social media at all. Now, they knew that being present on social media can help them, but they were so scared of it that they wouldn't even put their picture onto their profile, where the services that they provide are very personal and they work with their clients one-on-one. So when I was coaching them, I was saying, like, it's hard for a potential client to trust you from your social media, even if they find you there, if they don't know how you look, because you'll have to interact with them. You have to see them. So slowly but surely, she took the coaching and applied the strategies that we worked on. And within a few months, not only she was visible on social media and put their picture on the profile, but also she actually started booking clients. So people found her, and through the content that we were creating, she started booking clients. So only because something feels impossible. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So only because something feels impossible right now does not mean it has to be impossible forever. We make impossible possible for ourselves. Another story from my own journey, when I just started the business, and just like with networking, I realized that social media would be very beneficial for me. I was working full time. I could not go to too many networking events because of my work. And also, I knew I wanted to coach clients internationally. So the only way to reach international clients, or even within Canada that weren't too close to me, was through social media. And at first, I wasn't putting my pictures on. I was hiding behind the quotes or some static posts. But I quickly realized, as a coach, I represent the service that I deliver. And in order for clients to trust me to help them and to be comfortable being vulnerable, they need to meet me ahead of time, not right at the coaching experience or at the consultation level, right? They have to understand who I am as a person, as a coach ahead of time to even start trusting me. So again, that type of thinking shift from, I don't want to be in front of camera, so focusing on me and what I want to do and not want to do, or what I'm comfortable with doing or not, and focusing on my clients. What does my clients need in order to ask for help from me? Completely changed how I started thinking about social media and showing up on it. And then gradually, I expanded my emotional capacity to be doing bolder and bolder things. I didn't go from, okay, I'm scared to post a photo, to let's be live for 3 hours on the internet, right? I went from not posting photos to posting photos more and more, from not doing videos to doing short videos or first lives and so on. And then to going and doing public speaking or podcast recordings, whether it's guesting podcasts or the podcast you're listening to right now. And from being very nervous and uncomfortable every single time and needing a lot of preparation, to now not being nervous most of the time, being really comfortable in front of the camera most of the time, not 100% of the time yet, but most of the time. And depending on what I'm doing, that's not necessarily needing preparation every single time. So when you push yourself and challenge yourself outside of your comfort zone, in a way that still feels doable and you're able to take one step at a time, you will expand your capacity of doing more because your fear will get reduced. Your brain will see that if you go on video, you're not dying. It's all fine. And your skill set will grow. So from maybe not knowing what to say in front of the video or how to behave, then you just develop a skill set the same way you're learning how to swim or ride a bike. And then you are more and more comfortable with that. And then ultimately what happens is you going from, I will never do it, I hate it, I'd rather close my business. I've heard all of those excuses from my clients to, you know what? It's not that bad. I can do it. I actually like it. I have a client who, when they started coaching with me, they hated marketing and sales. And they hated it because truly they didn't understand the role of marketing and sales and how you can market and sell in a way that feels natural, that's very valuable for the client. Once they learned that skill set, they understood the psychology behind marketing and sales, and they learned how to do it in a way that feels natural and aligned with their values. They're actually enjoying marketing because they see how it connects them with their ideal clients, how they can reach more people, and through that, how they can help more people. It was the same with another one of my clients, Jennifer, who did not want to go out there and speak in public in person. That she told me that she would rather close her business. But then through coaching and showing her that it's not that much different than doing a social media video that she was already doing, and with preparation and with shift in how she was thinking about it, she started accepting invitations to speak publicly and grow her business this way. And now she's at the point where she knows that she needs to get to the next level and do more and more of it because that's the way for her to scale her business. And she's willing to do it. And that's the most important thing, rather than resisting completely. I often hear many business owners having such unserving beliefs about sales or about marketing or about sales with direct reach out sales or cold calling or just regular consultation where they're like, I don't want to be salesy, or I would never do this, or I don't want to bother people. Or there's so many things where a simple shift in thinking could help them reach so many more people, help so many more people with their gifts and their services if they only wanted to try. So one more example in how a shift in thinking can help you actually thrive is, let's say you would like to, your sales is slow and you're thinking, okay, what else can I do? And you are thinking about cold reach out, whether it's messaging on social media, like LinkedIn, reaching out, or whether it's picking up the phone or going door to door or whatever it is. And you have all those thoughts about people don't want it, they will be upset with me, I don't want to be salesy and so on. And what I want to challenge you is ask you, what are your thoughts about paid advertising? So what if instead of reaching out directly to people, what if let's say you have a budget and you start doing paid advertising? So your ad pops up, whether it's in their feed or on their YouTube channel or whatever they're doing, right? You would be more willing to do paid advertising because it doesn't require you to feel uncomfortable and directly connect with the other person. You're just removed from there rather than do a cold reach out. But ultimately, it's actually exactly the same thing, meaning you're reaching people where they are, right? Not knowing if they are ready to buy your service or not, but just making certain assumption on qualification based on your ideal client and so on, knowing that some of them will need your services, and then reaching them cold. One way by messaging them. The other way is by popping a message in front of them done by algorithm and so on, right? So like technically it's the same thing. It's just the format is a little bit different. And yet you probably have two very different perspectives on it. And what I want to even coach you on is that direct messaging, not paid advertising, if you do it well, could be actually more personal and create more connection between you and the ideal clients. And therefore, they would trust you much faster and better so it can convert in. And the ones that are ready would convert for you much faster. And if you were taking one thing, one golden nugget out of this podcast today is do not discount a strategy to help your business grow just because of your thoughts about the strategy or about your ability to do it. We're always capable of doing way more things that we give ourselves credit for. We're always capable of learning new skills, and we're capable of making what we think is impossible possible. Yes, it sometimes takes external help, a coach like me, to help you with figuring out how to approach it and coach you through your mindset, help you build some emotional capacity to be able to face the discomfort and fear. But when you do it, the results can surprise you. And then how much pride you can feel in achieving it is priceless. Let me share a testimonial that actually Jennifer wrote for me not that long ago. Working with Maggie as my business coach has been a transformative experience. From the very start, she guided me through every stage of my journey, always showing me what's possible, even when I couldn't see it myself. Maggie set me up with thoughtful homework and challenges that not only pushed me out of my comfort zone, but also held me accountable in all the right ways. The structure and encouragement were exactly what I needed, and I genuinely attribute my growth and progress to Maggie's unwavering support, insights, and belief in me. I'm so grateful for her guidance and can't recommend her enough. And Jennifer had amazing results. She probably tripled her business over that time, grew her team, got a truck, branded, and is really positioned to keep scaling. So with this episode, I want you to believe in yourself and be willing and courageous to put yourself out there, even if you're introverted, even if you're shy. You decided to start the business because you're passionate about what you do. You're passionate about helping people. Don't let your fear or limiting belief stop you from that. And one more thing, if you're in the stage of your business where you feel that reaching your first $100,000 of income feels impossible for whatever reason, I want to invite you to join me for my free Back to Basics online event. It's going to be on March 25th, 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, online. It's a whole experience of me showing you how to get to your first $100,000 in a simple way, uncomplicating the road for it, where you will also be able to network and meet with amazing service-based business owners. It's all free. All I ask for is commitment for you to show up and participate. It's a live event. There's not going to be replays. I'm going to leave a registration link in the show notes. I hope to see you there. Thank you for listening today. If this podcast resonated with you, please come back. Also, you can leave a review on whatever platform you're listening. And if you have a suggestion, question, or a topic you would like me to talk about, let's get in touch via email. Email me at Maggie at stairwaytoleadership.com. See you in the next episode.